that local industry is identifying that they are looking for in future employees. They're telling us that they need students to have higher problem-solving skills, innovation, ability to solve problems, come up with creative solutions, and also have greater collaboration skills.
Today, students are coming down to the Innovation Studio to present their final tent project. A few weeks ago, they began a unit studying volume and surface area, and I worked with another teacher here, as well as the Innovation Studio facilitator, to create a project in which students are asked to design a tent with 2 three-dimensional figures. Their task is to find the surface area and volume of those figures, and today they will present their final tent projects to a panel of judges, and those judges will take a look at their designs and figure out which design best fits the needs of a company that will be selling their tent.
The purpose behind this project was for the students to have an innovative idea of what it's like to be an engineer or design something that is realistic for the real world. And since a tent maximizes volume, or the space inside of the tent, it also minimizes the surface area or the cost. We thought it would be best for the students to have a hands-on opportunity to create their own designs. So the process involved 3 different templates, and then the students were able to decide which model they liked best. For example, we had one tent that was designed as a sphere, or excuse me, a cone, and then we had another, they designed a smaller one as well. And what they did is they decided which one maximized volume, but minimized the total cost of all of the supplies needed to create this particular tent. We've been in here for 2 weeks, and each day the students had a task sheet that they needed to complete, in which they organized their thoughts, they did trial and error, they calculated different dimensions, saw which ones were going to be the most beneficial, and going through that process let them figure out the best, or the optimal model. The students took this very seriously, exceeded all of our expectations. They used all kinds of different materials for models. We had one group make a tent out of clay. We had several students make them out of the 3D printer. We had other ones make them out of the supplies in the Innovation Studio, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing the final products today. Thank you all for being here right on time. I hope you guys took advantage of the 15 minutes that you had to get yourselves ready, to be prepared. Before we get started this afternoon, we're going to introduce to you our judges. First we have Miss Strode. She's our learning coach. Then we have Mrs. DiBiasio. She's our humanities director. We have Mrs. Sleesman. She is our assistant superintendent. And Mrs. Bourne, our STEM director.
And I just want to give these guys a little background about how hard you all have worked in here. So we've been in here for a few weeks now, and we started out in here doing a little designing, and we went back to the classroom. We did some work with volume and surface area formulas, and then we came back in here, and as you'll see on your clipboards, their task was to design a tent that sleeps at least how many people, folks? 4. At least 4 people, 2 rooms, 2 different 3-dimensional figures, and their job was to find the surface area and the volume, and find a ratio of volume to surface area, because they're trying to increase their volume while they minimize the cost of the fabric that will be needed to create the tent. So that was their job. So as you guys are watching their presentations, we ask that you take that into account. Also, students know that these may not be the only 4 judges. We may have other judges coming in and out, so just be respectful of that. If somebody has to leave here, somebody may come take their place. Anything else?
All right, before we get going, you guys, I'd like to give all of you guys a huge round of applause, because you worked so hard on this. Okay, and with that being said,
we have our first group. So Alexis, Ryan, Miranda, and Cece, you guys are up.
This is the Colossal R-Back by Cece, Miranda, Ryan, and Alexis.
The dimensions for our tent, we made 2 pentagonal prisms, 2 square pyramids, 2 cubes, and half cylinders. The dimensions for our pentagonal prism, the base is 4.2 yards by 3 yards. The front and back of the prism is 4.2 yards, 2.5 yards, 2.5 yards, 1 yard, and 1 yard for the roofs. The side is 2.5 by 3 yards, and the dimensions for the roof is 1 yard by 3 yards. And then we have another small pentagonal prism in the front for door access, which is half the exact size of the bigger one. The 2 cubes is 2.5 yards all around in height, weight, width, and length. The triangular prisms, they are 2.5 by 2.5 for the base and 2.7 for the slant height. And finally, the cylinder, its diameter is 2.5 yards, which makes the radius 1.25 yards, and the height is 2.5 yards.
To find the volume to surface area ratio, we used the surface area and volume formulas, and our total surface area was 269.69 yards squared, and our volume was 73.718 yards cubed. And when we reduced that, it went to 0.27 yards cubed to 1 yard squared.
As you can see, this is the top view of our tents, and there's 2 half cylinders, 2 cubes, and 2 pentagons. Well, you can't really see it because it's just a cube. And this is a side view, and yeah, this is the front view.
So this is like what the tent looks like.
Yeah, this is the whole.
Alright. For our tent, we have, there's optimal space. It has 2 private sections. In the middle is where like the tent, where the living space is. So it's like great for families. It's huge. You can fit 8 people in there. It comes in red, yellow, blue, and green. You can order it online, or you can get it near your LO that's closest to you. The living space, it can make for 2 separate, like, secluded sleeping spaces, so you can have like optional areas. So you can have like the kids sleep in these 2 areas, or I don't know, you have various spaces to sleep. So it's very light in weight, so it's easy to like carry and pack away. And I don't know, it's just great for big families if you want to go outdoors.
So the cost of production and marketing, the cost of the tent is $1,200, and the cost of the fabric and to make the tent is $1,146.18. As you said before, it's made for large families and it can fit 8+ people, and it's very durable and long lasting. And that's it.
Questions?
Oh, questions? Anybody?
I just have a question about the pricing.
Yes.
In the brochure, it indicated that the overall cost was $1,200, and now you've broken it out tent and fabric, so I'm just, is that the cost put together? Or
So like the cost of the fabric is the total, like this is the cost just to make it, and then this is the cost of this tent itself. So when you go to the store, you order it online, this is how much you'll be paying.
So LL Bean will only make $54? Is that, okay, no, just ask, I don't mean it in a judgy way, just asking.
She's the judge.
But I am a judge.
Could you tell me what the ratio of volume to the surface area was again?
It was 0.27 yards cubed to 1 yard squared.
To how many yards squared?
1 yard squared.
And what makes you think that people are going to want to purchase this?
Well, it has a lot of space.
Yeah, it has a lot of space.
It does, because there's different sections, as Cece said, where you can sleep, so it gives you options of like where kids could go hang out. And also in here is made for large families, so like if a bigger family didn't want to buy 2 separate tents, they could have one whole big tent for everyone to sleep in. And the middle section, like you can stand up, like in this area, it's like standing height, so it's not like you're kneeling the whole entire time. And with the 2 separate rooms on the side, it creates a lot of separate space.
How tall would it accommodate somebody that's over 6 feet tall?
Yes.
Like you will. Okay. And one entrance and one exit, just the one in the front? Okay.
That's why it's separate.
That's why it's separate.
So we have one full entrance area. No rest.
Like a mudroom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you say it was designed for 8 adults as well as children?
Yeah.
Or would it be uncomfortable to have adults? Do you
8
need
adults
that ratio
would be
of
fine.
children?
Yeah.
And one final question, if I could. How many people do you think it would take to set that up and take it down?
Probably as many people as you're putting in the tent.
So take everyone.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a project to put it together.
Yeah, but it's wait. Yeah.
I'm not judging. I'm just asking it. Well, technically, I'm just asking.
Thank you very much.
I'm Sarah, and this is our LLB pitch tent.
Our design is a square pyramid that has one cube connected to each side of the pyramid. There are little openings that allow you to go from room to room. And this tent has 3 rooms and is able to hold 4 to 6 people. The pros, it can hold more than 4 people, has 3 rooms, you're able to stand up in it, it's waterproof, there's a large volume and space for storage.
This is our sheet with the dimensions, and our total surface area is 44.8 yards, and the volume is 20 yards. Each square pyramid is 8.8 yards, and each cube is 18 yards. The cost to make the tent is $184, but the final price is $235.
This is the front, top, and side views of our tent.
Their model was not printed, so we are going to pull it up here. That's it, right?
Well, this is the back, and the door is on the front.
That's the what?
This is the back of the tent.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
This is how we came up with our tent design through trial tent shapes and going through the design process.
And why our design? Our design is the best for LLB because you're able to travel with it easily and it's capable of holding a good amount of people. It has a large volume for a very good price. Only $235, you can get a wonderful tent with 3 rooms, fitting 4 to 6 people, and a lot of comfort for you and your family.
Does the entrance protrude at all, or is it just in the it's in the flat?
Yes. So if it's like raining or muddy or anything like that, is there a way to keep that out of the tent, or it's just like a flap that comes down?
It's like a door, like an open, and you can like zip it closed.
Zip it closed. Okay. And 6 adults, it would sleep 6 adults, or 4 adults plus 2 kids?
We could fit 6 adults, 2 in each room, because the middle's round.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so 2 in each room. So tell me a little bit about the storage.
If like you only have 4 people, there's the cubes on the side, and then like the middle can be for your storage or anything you need.
You told us how much the tent would cost at our stores, but what would it cost you to make? 184. Thank you.
name is Ian Milliken. I'm from Whim Camping Gear. These are my associates, Matt Sheehy and Will Carrera. Today we're going to pitch our tent for you.
All right,
so slow on that one.
So this is our model. I'll just pass this around for you guys to.
Thank you.
So our model is a hexagonal prism with a hexagonal pyramid on top, and then it's a rectangular prism with a triangular prism on top. So this would be kind of like the entrance, the mudroom. You could take your shoes off, leave your stuff in there, and this is the main sleeping area. So the whole design gives stability and strength for the tent, and it has sufficient space for sleeping and other activities.
These are all of our equations. Our total volume was 185 yards squared, and our total surface area was 185.2 square yards, and our volume was 289.6 cubic yards. The volume to surface area ratio was 1.56 cubic yards to 1 square yard. The total cost of the fabric was $767.25.
So for the base of our tent where the customers will sleep, we used a hexagonal prism to provide stability, and it also has a lot of space. And the hexagonal prism used for the roof provides ample headroom for comfort. We used a rectangular prism with a triangular prism on top for the entrance to provide not only easy exit and entry, but also extra space. And the 5 windows provide breathability for extra comfort.
Our tent can sleep up to 4 people comfortably. It has 2 rooms for privacy, the main hexagonal room and then the little entrance area. There's extra storage in the entrance. It's tall to provide headroom. Rain slides off the roof easily due to the slanted slopes. And there's 5 windows to provide space for sunlight to enter.
So the total cost to manufacture this tent is $767.25, and we sold it at a market price of $1,000, which leaves us with a 30% profit of $232.75.
Okay, so this is our poster design. You could use it for marketing. We have our slogan, "Win with Whim." So we just highlight some of the features. It comfortably sleeps up to 4 people. It's a 2-room design. It has nearly 870 cubic feet of space, and it has a slanted roof. The rain rolls right off, and it has 8 feet of headroom, so it has, ample space for tall people. And just a picture of our design so you can show everybody what they would be getting into if they wanted to buy it. Any questions?
That looks like it really has 8 feet of headroom out to the sides.
No, the sides are 6 and the center is 8.
The sides are 6, but really you can stand anywhere.
Yeah, you can stand anywhere.
I'm just. And what is the headroom in the entryway?
Entrance is 6 feet.
And what
the
about
highest and the sides are
4. So definitely only for adults. No.
Well, you could probably actually
squish a couple of people in there.
Yeah, very comfortably sleeps 4 people. So if you needed to, you could definitely fit more people.
Okay.
What was your inspiration for the design in terms of the hexagonal shape and opposed to a standard tent shape?
Well, we wanted to have something unique. Like you go to the store and there's a bunch of just, triangle tents, and so this one utilizes the space. It gives good headroom, and it serves multiple purposes. It has a lot of storage space, sleeping room. So
it looks a lot like a yurt. You know what a yurt is?
No.
It looks a lot like your tent because some of them are made to be put up and taken down, and some actually are permanent. They're a little larger than that, but it looks like a yurt.
So that main living area, there's no separation or divider or anything?
There's one down.
There's one down. And is it waterproof?
The entranceway, is that recommended? You're not adding that as sleeping space, is that correct?
You could if you wanted to, but we're just thinking in terms of storage. You could just put whatever you need in the front.
And leave the dirt behind.
Yep.
Okay. Nice. I like.
So, and you have 870 cubic feet. Sorry.
Yep. Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. I like the ad.
Yeah. Nice job,
It's
guys.
very catchy.
Good work.
Okay, so our tent design name or like company name is S7, and although our tent is square, it's actually supposed to be round, and Cahoon is holding a scale model of it. Now, if you would pass that around. That is a 1/50th. That is a 1/50th scale model. Okay, so.
Our tent is a cylinder base with a cone on top, looking similar to like a hut or an old-time circus tent.
We really picked our design because it sort of felt homely in the way that it would be a great idea to have a hut-like tent in a way that it would be easy to set up and then easy to take down, and it'd still provide a lot of space with 2 rooms. And because the cone on top has a specific slant height, it allows rain to slide off rather easily. Okay, so the specifications, it offers 2 rooms with a divider sheet down the middle. 1 room to the left side or the right side, depending on which way you're looking at it, has a sleeping area big enough for 4 people to sleep comfortably, 2 wide and then 2 long. It also has a area on the other side for self-maintenance or just getting ready in the morning, putting on makeup, cooking. I don't know. The surface area is 71.9 yards squared, and the volume would be 31.4 yards squared. And the area of the sleeping space and the self-maintenance space each are 9.81 yards squared. So that's sort of like the area to sleep.
Our product placement. The tent we've sold in department stores and sports stores, having them be placed near camping goods, since when you're looking for stuff for camping, and that when you notice a tent while you're browsing, like when you're looking at like the fishing rods and other things like that.
This is just a
rough ad.
As you can see, the price is $500, but as we get to soon sales,
it costs $296.59 to make 1 tent. The price of each tent is going to be sold for $500, which the profit is $203.41. And the profit by the end of the year, if a tent is sold every day, it will be $74,244.65.
Is that it? That's it. So, any questions?
I'm just wondering why your pictures and everything don't show the.
It's just that it's with image design. We really wanted to go for like a classic tent design, sort of just like a symbol, not like what our actual tent would be like in every single ad. Sort of just like a symbol of our company or a symbol of what sort of the tent. Not really the tent. Just sort of like a symbol for it to be, instead of like having the actual tent just be placed right there in the image.
So this image is actually representative of your S7 brand?
Yes.
And where was like the branding S7? What is that?
It's just sort of the brand name that we decided to put on it, because every tent needs a brand name besides just LL Bean.
So I see that this is an entrance, it's flat, on the flat side. Same thing for this.
Yes, right? I tried to make sort of a representative square hole of where it would be, instead of trying to draw on flaps with the 3D design, which would be very time consuming and very difficult to do. But it didn't print as well as I would hope, but it's still sort of representative of where the entrance would be.
It would be just like a flat zip-up.
Flat zip-up, yes.
And what's the headroom?
Headroom at the very point is 6 feet tall, and around the edges where the cylinder meets the cone would be 4 feet. So you would have to kneel in sort of a walk around in there in a crouch position, but it still makes up for that headroom loss with a very wide sort of tent, because the diameter of the cylinder and the cone on top is 15 feet. Okay. So it's a very wide tent, yes.
Thank you, guys. Nice job.
I'm Harmony.
I'm Grace.
And our third partner is Olivia, but she could not come today because she's currently sick. Alright. Our front side and top models.
So our bottom width is 15 feet and the trapezoid is 7 feet tall and the hexagon prism is 6 feet tall. Not 6 feet, 4 feet tall, sorry.
The way we were working this out was for volume, to create maximum space inside, so when you're walking around, you don't feel cramped. With our height of 7 feet, it works for all ages. That way, you can get it when you have kids who are younger and they can move around. But as you grow up, they, however tall they may grow up to be, it still works for them. Comes in multiple colors, blue, green, and brown. It's lightweight, but can sleep up to 6 people comfortably. You could fit more if you wanted to, but the recommended amount would be 6. The storage space, our hexagonal shape in the front. It is an entrance, so it does protrude out, but the entrance has extra space on both sides to use as a mudroom, sort of. So if you wanted to take your shoes off or your coats to keep there, you could. And our trapezoid behind in the back is the living space as well as sleeping space on both sides. It's waterproof, and because of its volume, there's enough space to bring pets.
So the cost of the material for the tent is $3,973, but the final cost will be $4,500, and the profit will be $500 to $526.
Okay. We made a magazine cover for Outdoor Life, since that's more of a well-known magazine. It portrays the shape of the tent itself, and the name Trapezoidal. It flipped back to another page, is sort of how we're going with it, because some pages, like if you put this on a cover, a lot of them will say in the magazine, you can get more information about it on a certain page, and it would describe the different heights and the everything that goes with it.
Can you go back to the, so can you tell us what the shapes are that you chose?
We did a trapezoidal prism as the main living space, and then hexagonal prism as the entranceway and storage.
The rendering itself looks a little narrow in the larger space. Can you remind me how deep the depth of the tent would be?
6 feet and 6 inches. It wasn't really able to be shown properly.
Oh, no, that's okay. I have the measurements.
But it's gonna be, but it would be 10 feet wide. Is that what it says right there?
Yes.
So
On the
it's
top
10
and then
feet
on the bottom it'll be 15
and then
feet.
6 feet.
Oh, okay, right, okay.
And did you have the surface area calculated for that?
Yes, but I don't have it on
Okay.
This seems a little expensive. Can you tell me a little bit about the materials?
While working on it, like I said, we were working more towards volume. So at the start of the project, the surface area had kind of been the last thing in our minds. So as we went through it and we noticed this, we did make changes to it, as it would have been even more expensive. So, the
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
worked with Strode and Scott for this project.
We're JDS Tents, and with JDS Tents, you get the best possible tent design that money can buy. Our ultra durable, easy to set up, lightweight, water repellent tent can't be beat. The design is a modern take on classic tent design with a shape similar to that of a house. With its 8 by 10 foot base, our tent can sleep up to 4 people comfortably, or 5 people if you don't mind a squeeze. And at a comfortable 8 feet tall, anyone can stand up inside and get a nice stretch in.
And here's our model.
Our model is 1/12 to scale.
And so our total volume wound up being 373 feet cubed, and our surface area was 315.8 feet squared. The ratio was 1 foot cubed for every 0.85 on the outside. So we were able to get more space on the inside while spending less on outside materials. And the inside divider, which we didn't count as part of the surface area, is 55 feet squared. And the total cost of all the fabric, including the divider, is $168.30. And we recommend that you sell the tent at $249.99. And here's a diagram with, we were able to fit 4 sleeping bags. The ones that Ms. Fish brought in to measure were 2 feet by 6 feet, and we fit 4 of them in with a little bit of extra room for maybe a couple of kids or 1 more adult. And this is just the math.
Why you should choose JDS?
From the math.
Simple time-tested design and easy to set up with modern materials. Cabela's is currently offering a 4-person tent similar in design that then is 2 feet less wide and $125 more than JDS. More bang for your buck.
And we really settled on our design because we tried more complex ones like cylinders and hexagonal prisms, but this one allowed us to spend the least amount of money on materials and still have the most room inside. And that's it.
And our goal here at JDS Tents is to maximize your wilderness experience and make it the best that it can be. Our motto is live with the wild, don't survive, thrive.
Any questions?
I think I have a general question. I don't know if this is of the teachers or not. Were the students given the same type of fabric to use?
Yes.
Okay.
It's all the same price for
$495.
For you, okay.
And then I have a question actually. In your marketing materials, and I think in your slideshow earlier, there was like the tent with the overlay, the rain overlay. Does your cost include that?
The rain overlay?
Like
I think the material we were provided with is waterproof.
Okay, perfect.
It is, yes. So I think Ms. Corning is asking, does your tent have does it expand past the square? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah,
The runoff?
like see how that one has, it comes out over further past the square. Does yours do that? No. That's okay. It's okay if it doesn't. I just do it. Cool. Nice job, you guys. And is that flat, does that full flap down to see inside, or is it your tent really do that?
That front flap.
The whole front goes in.
So you can open the doors or
And
open the whole
doors.
thing? That's really cool. I like that.
That is cool, but how does it, do people walk on that part? When it's folded down?
Yes.
I guess you could, but it would get a little weird.
Yeah, it would. That's what I was thinking.
You could probably just open it if it's a nice day, so you can just kind of air out the tent a little bit.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Yep, yeah, that's good.
All right, nice job, you guys.
Good job, you guys.
This tent design can hold up to 4 adult-sized people with a max height of 6'5".
So, with the luxury of 2 rooms during the day, this tent is easily converted into 2 accessible sleeping rooms. The main room is the sphere, which has a standing height of 9 feet. The cylinder has a comfortable crawling height of 4 feet that serves as an entrance and exit and a sleeping area for 2 at night.
With the amount of space provided, this tent uses a minimum amount of fabric while having a maximum amount of valuable space. Our tent supplies you with a unique and different design while still having a comfortable amount of living space.
And this is our specifications sheet. So the surface area of the cylinder was 25.12 yards, and the volume was 33.49 yards. The total surface area was 104.34 yards, and then the area of the bases was 44.2 yards. So the total volume was 97.8 yards, and the total cost of fabric was $517. And the total cost of the tent is $725, giving you a $208 profit. I'm sorry, how much? For the whole tent, like what? Profit 208.
It's 208, 40%.
And how, I'm sorry, can you say how many people it sleeps again? Four.
Four adults.
I have a question about the design. That entrance seems to be long. Is that?
Yeah, we
is
were
this
like
scale?
No, we were given those. Like we couldn't like design like our thing.
Okay.
So we were like.
So how long is that? How
much crawling do you
How
have
much
to do?
crawling?
to get to the-
I'm also, it's not just the crawling, it's also the air circulation. It seems like a narrow entrance to the tent, and I'm not sure if I want to be stuck back in there.
Well,
It
it's
might
actually
get
like pretty
claustrophobic.
wide, like that's not like the actual.
It should be
It's
8 feet
Yeah,
wide.
it's 8 feet wide and 4 feet tall.
How long?
How long is it?
It's 8 feet long.
8 feet.
So you'd have to crawl for 8 feet to get to the.
Well, suppose that could sleep.
For the
2 people
elderly
alone.
here, you'd have to crawl 8 feet to get to the regular
So
person.
that's the only entrance?
Yeah.
And 2 people, you would have actually people sleep on the sides of that, right? And then what happens
Oh, that's
on the
why
back?
it's so. Got you, okay.
Okay, and then in the back, you have 2 more.
Yeah. You could probably squeeze in more people, but.
Yeah, but comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how tall is this? 4 feet, you said?
The 4 feet is the entrance
Yes.
and 9.
And then
The high sphere is 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
So imagine this. You got an igloo and you got a tent. This is KBN Tent presenting the igloo.
My name is Kyle Fortune. I'm here with my associates Matt Hess and Ben Smith, and we're here to present the igloo for you. Our slogan is here to cover you. Our newest tent is named the Igloo. The tent consists of a hemisphere as well as a rectangular prism. It is a 2-room tent with a hallway that runs down the middle, and it has 2 entry points and is designed to fit at least 4 people comfortably.
All right. The tent's shape is a hemisphere, which allows us to maximize our volume, as well as minimize our total surface area. The tent also has a hallway with 2 different rooms for as much privacy as possible, and it has 2 different entrances to allow a more accessible tent.
Alright, so the diameter of the circle of the sphere on the bottom is 10 feet, so that's 10 feet across, and that's also the length of the hallway. The dimensions of the hallway are 5 by 10 by 2, and then the top height of the hemisphere is 6 feet, so that should be able to fit a tall person. The total circumference is 31 feet, and the total volume is 261.66 feet cubed, and the surface area is 331 feet square. Alright, so this is how we came up with our design. At first, we were thinking of a bunch of little cubes connected, and that kind of reminded us of ice cubes. And then so sort of sticking to that ice kind of theme, we thought of an igloo. And we also found out that a sphere is the shape that has the most volume for the least amount of surface area. So we just thought if we did half a sphere, it would maximize both of those. So that's how we came up with it.
Any questions?
I want to see them all. You have the price of manufacturing.
Oh yeah,
This is the cost.
Alright, so the cost of material is $545, and the starting retail price is $17.99, which is 50% profit. We're going for the bank here.
And sleeps 4? You're saying sleeps 4?
At least 4.
At least 4.
Yeah.
How many could totally, if you squish them in?
If you wanted to fit up to 6, you could.
Squish them in, probably just fit 9.
Everybody having their own space on the ground.
Marketing, it's the Igloo, and you have a lot of visuals of snow and ice. Is it preferred at all for extreme temperatures or anything like that? Are you geared? Is that part of the marketing?
The fabric we offer is only for rain. I guess we just came up with Igloo because it sort of looks like an igloo. Yeah. It's like a hot igloo. Yeah, like those summer days. You got that cool breeze coming through the hallway. It's pretty nice.
I have a question. Are there any windows at all?
No.
Just the 2 doors. Okay. All right.
Nice, guys.
We made a website to present our tent to you guys, and it's called the Trap Tent because it has 2 trapezoidal prisms on top as the roof. The Trap Tent is a tent that is affordable, comfortable, and easy to assemble when camping, and it has enough room to fit at least 4 people and a pet. The tent has 2 rooms with a divider, and the 2 rooms and the shapes include 2 trapezoidal prisms and 3 rectangular prisms. Our tent has separate entrances for each room, offering privacy. The structure is laid out so that you have enough room to rest and even enough room to stand up straight if you are up to 7 feet tall. The divider in the tent is perfect spot to house your pet if you decide to bring it or store extra supplies. Our tent has a volume of 1,024 feet cubed and a surface area of 697.6 feet squared. The ratio of volume to surface area is 1.4 feet cubed to 1 foot squared. The cost of the fabric is $319.73. We increased the cost of the fabric by 30%, so you would get a profit of $95.92, and the total cost of the tent would be $415.65.
And then that is the view from the top, and the sleeping space one, they each have room for 2 sleeping bags, sleep transmitters, fish out, and then room for your pet or storage. Middle, and that's the back view, the front view, and a side view, and the top view again without the sleeping bag.
The model scale factor is 1 inch of the model is equal to 48 inches in reality.
And it has, sorry, maybe I'm not ready.
So that was our final design, and then our 3 designs that we came down to were a cylinder with a cone on top, the final design, and then a rectangular prism with a pyramid on top. I'll read the pros and cons of design. The pros were it has a lot of room because it's really long, area for a pet or storage in the middle. It's tall enough for most people, and the separate areas provide extra privacy. And also the square corners add extra space for like the sleeping bag or storage. And then the cons are it does take up a lot of room because it's so long, and the rain can puddle in like the middle part if it runs off.
That's our tent.
So you have 2 doors for the 2 separate rooms, plus is this a doggy door?
Yeah.
All right. I like that. And I like the windows too.
And you might not want your dog to be in the sleeping spaces, so it can go in the middle. It won't get like dirty.
And are there dividers to keep it in the middle?
Yeah, there's a divider there, and then there's also doors, so you can go.
So that's accessible.
Yeah, I like the way that you showed your brainstorming. Like, why you didn't choose certain designs. That was very interesting.
Nice job.
Good job, Russ. Thank you.
Thank you. Good job.
I'm Emma.
I'm Maddie. And I'm Taylor.
We're EMT Designs, and we did the tubular tent. So this is a top view. What it consists of, there's 4 half cylinders surrounding a square pyramid. The square pyramid is 7 feet tall and 9 feet wide, and then the tubes are 8 feet long and 3 feet high.
So here's our map. It can fit 4 to 6 people, and the peak height is 2.3 yards. There's 4 doors and 5 rooms, and our surface area is 25.5 yards squared per cube, and then with the cylinders, those are 13.904 yards squared per tube, so our total surface area is 74.836 yards squared. And for our volume, the volume of the cylinders is 4.082 yards cubed, and for the volume of the square pyramid, it's 6.9 yards cubed. So our total volume is 10.982 yards cubed.
And our price to make is $370.44, and our retail cost is $485.99. So we 30% of that, and the profit would be about $111.
So we decided to choose this design because our other designs that we brainstormed had a lot of volume, a lot of surface area, but not a lot of volume. And we figured out it would be the best option. And Miss Mason helped us think of a good design. And it's unique because it has all the individual bedrooms or the half cylinders that come off of it, and it has the living space in the middle.
A couple pros is it sleeps up to 6, but 4 in the half cylinder pods and 2 in the living room. And since it has 4 separate sleeping areas, it's like everyone has their own privacy. But since some people may get claustrophobic, which is can happen, that's why there's room in the center area for people who need more space. And the sleeping areas can attach, so it's easy to set up. And just like when, those little tubes when you were little, you would play with outside, they just compact together. So it's easy setup, lightweight. And one large living space to gather around. And at the top of our tent, it has a mesh see-through so that for air circulation and to see the stars at nighttime if you want to. But it also has a zipper at the top that from the inside you can zip up if it rains, so it's waterproof as well. It's 7 feet high, so it has room to stand and stretch for all ages, and then
And the other good thing is if you have small kids and you don't want them sleeping in a separate tent, you could put the kids in the tubes and the adults could sleep in the middle so that you can still have supervision, because if you're camping, you might not want to have a separate tent just because you're out in the middle of the woods, so it's a safe tent also.
And also it comes in a variety of colors, but we chose brighter colors for ours since in the woods it's easier to see.
But we also have a black option just in case people don't like bright
If you're like
colors.
hiking and you come back at night, you don't want to get lost and not be able to find your tent.
Is there a purple option?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Are the
Top
doors?
seller.
Where are the doors?
Yeah, where
Yeah, the doors.
The doors are like on each side, but then also there's gonna be. It doesn't matter which corner, but there's also it's like hard to see because it just like blends right in. But there's like a zipper on one of the sides. They're all the same, so it doesn't matter which side it is.
Gotcha. So you can go in through the corner,
don't
or
wanna
you could
crawl,
go
you're
on a
not too
crawl in.
adventurous. Yeah, if you just want to like came home
Or
from camping and they want to just
agile.
crawl in and then into your little pod and there you go.
But there are zippers here, you're saying?
Yeah.
The corners.
Yes.
Okay, all right, that works. Okay. This design they're using, in the Asian countries, the tubes. You can go in hotels and sleep in a tube just like that. What were you inspired by that?
Is there any questions? We wanted like more of a design to see how the tent is, and then also like nice camping and so we just decided
Totally true.
Okay, so I'm Sam Gorecki. I'm here with Jack Neal and Joseph Petrillo, and we've got our tent design, the super duper Hemy cylinder.
So our company, Great Outdoors Tents, really together our company's been through a lot. In the beginning all we had was a new idea, and now it's a reality. Our own tents.
So these are the blueprints for our design. As you can see, we have a side, front, and top view of the tent. Our total surface area was 1,284 feet squared, and our volume was 2,530 feet cubed, 0.8 feet cubed. This is the data for our tent. The shape is a mix of a rectangular prism at the entrance and leading to a half cylinder for the main sleeping area. The total volume, once again, is 2,530.8 feet cubed. Total surface area, 1,284.32 feet squared. And the total cost to make the tent, is, with the fabric and everything included, is $2,119.13. And the cost of the tent that we are selling it as is $3,000.
Alright, so our tent has a lot of pros. It's a huge tent, it's very large. The main sleeping area is 20 by 10. So that means that you can hold anything you need. You can hold another tent inside of it if you want. You could hold umbrellas, sleeping bags, pets, anything. It can fit a lot of people. We estimate maximum you could fit maybe 15 people inside of it. So if you've got friends, which most of us do, you can bring all your friends on a big camping trip. We found the most efficient surface area to volume ratio inside of our cylinder, and the total one is 1.971, so that's volume to surface area, which means that you almost get 2 cubic feet for every square feet of material you use. Has several rooms. You can have 2 rooms plus the foyer, which is the rectangular prism part, which allows for some privacy if you want some. And it's very, very customizable. We have a website. We're going to build a website. And you can make any color combination you want. Anything. We'll make it for you if you want it. All right. And we also have a magazine ad. So here's our magazine ad. This would go in, a bunch of magazines. You could put it in Boy Scout magazine. You could put it in
River and Stream, all of those magazines, and that's honestly the name of our tent. And here it says, come join us in the great outdoors, name of our company. With a new patented super duper Hemy cylinder, the great outdoors becomes even greater. Make anywhere your backyard with our spacious tent, over 25-30 square cubic feet.
Is that a pet storage area out there?
No, that's just the picture. You can hang pictures.
Oh, you can hang pictures of the tent? How do you get in and out of this tent?
We have actually that's direct slide. If you look here, we've got our front area, which also has, you can see the door. The door's, what, 4 feet tall? So you do have to kind of crouch to get in. But once you get in, you've got 8 feet of headspace here and 10 feet up here at the maximum. And obviously it slopes down, so you get less as you go further out. And over here, you have another set of doors to get to the main sleeping area, which is actually 2 doors and a divider in between. So that you have 2 separate rooms, very spacious.
And is there any other window or any
No, I mean,
are all these 15 people in there?
No, you're outdoors. You're hopefully if you're going camping, you're spending a lot of time outdoors. So we thought it might be nice, give you a chance to, get away sort of. And for those who don't particularly like camping, those are just there because everyone else is there, it provides almost like a home-like environment.
Without more
Yeah.
windows or-
And are you counting the foyer area? Are you counting that as sleeping space as well
No.
when you're counting the 15? Or
No.
is it just the
15 in the main area, the floor area, you can put a pet in there, put your boots, hiking sticks, whatever.
Are you envisioning, you didn't mention the Boy Scouts, do you envision this more like, are you marketing towards that group? Because if it's 15 people but only 2 rooms.
Yeah, I mean anyone can buy it, but it is marketed towards larger groups. So very, very big families. My family has 6, so maybe we could have that. Or you could have, school camping trips,
Oh my goodness.
Boy Scouts.
I'm sure I want to chaperone that. No windows.
And you think that price point of $3,000 is like pretty attainable for people, or?
Yeah, definitely. There are more expensive tents. I've seen tents online, 4,000, 5,000, with less than half the volume of ours.
All right. Okay.
Comfort is one of the biggest things for us.
Thank you. Nice job, guys.
Double the surface area and triple the amount of furniture.
Alright, how's everyone doing today? Alright, I'm out here, I'm Spencer Rose, along with my colleagues Shona Monda and Aiden Wheeler. And we're here from the South Face, presenting a new innovative tent, the Sphere. Oh, go back one. There we go.
All right. Well, first of all, our tent is a sphere, and how many times do you see that? It's pretty unique. So it's got 2 rectangular entrances that this model doesn't show it because it's just not in the picture.
A 3D printed model right here.
Yeah.
If you'd like to take a look at it, you can pass it around and examine it.
So you have to set all this other stuff up and then set the tent up?
No. So the black cylinders on the sides are trees.
Yeah, it's part of the
and
presentation.
the cables.
Sorry, I'll
connect
stop
to
that.
Go right ahead with your presentation.
All right. Well, it's suspended, as you can see in that picture, and in that by cords. The cords are represented by the little metal wires And there's only 2 in that model right there. There's 4 in this one. But you can have, there's multiple attachments all around it. You can attach it to the ground, whatever you want. And it doesn't have to be connected to trees. It can be connected to whatever you want, like cliffs. I mean, I don't really know. Pretty hardcore. It's for everyone. And it is suspended, like I said before. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be on flat ground. It doesn't even need to be close to the ground. The entrances have ladders attached to them to get into the tent. On both sides, actually, there's 2 rectangles there. Yep, and it's got a 12-foot diameter, so it's very large, but it's appropriate size.
Who is this tent for? This tent's for an avid camper, anyone who loves the outdoors or adventures. And for the most part, it's anyone that wants to amp up their camping experience. Like Amy said, you don't see this every day, so experience something great.
Oh, pros! The pros are the unique style of the sphere. As Aiden said and Spencer said, you don't see a sphere very much in camping. It's more spacious because spheres have the most volume to surface area ratio, and it is very, very comfortable due to tent being suspended and not on the ground. It makes children excited about camping and getting away from the electronics. Volume and surface area. The volume is 904.32 square feet, and the surface area is 467.16 square feet, and 153.17 square yards. The ratio is 904.32 to 467.16. Total cost. Cost to produce, $644.20, and the total cost for the tent is $775. It's a 20%
profit.
That's the word.
All right, so this is our dimensions and such. Yep. So this side is the inside of the tent. As you can see, that there is a divider in the middle here, and there is like a ladder that connects the little flat area on the bottom. That's about 4 feet in diameter. And you climb up here, and this is where the beddings are. And as I said before, it's not connected to the ground, so this is always going to be flat. You don't need to worry about like rocks and a flat surface to camp on. You're going to get a pretty good night's sleep.
What is that made out of? Yeah.
Oh, well, we were given one material.
And it is military grade Kevlar.
Yes. As well, so we got that covered.
For $4 a yard? Military grade Kevlar? $5 a yard. Then 95 cents is what we go over. Yeah.
So it's very strong.
Okay.
All right. Well, so the entrances are 4 feet wide by 6 feet tall. So I have to duck, but most people won't. So, and it is also it's a sphere, so it's also 6 feet tall here. So I'll almost be able to stand straight. So it's pretty spacious.
What are you going to stand on?
This is the divider, the flat area, the Kevlar
surface. That's the.
So you're envisioning that you're going to climb up the ladder, and then there's a second layer of fabric that would be the floor. A second
two levels.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you could even like sleep someone down at that very bottom part, and then
Yes.
or leave all your boots there or something. That's small.
Yeah, you can strap things to the side here.
Okay.
And as Joe said, it has a pretty good ratio, surface area to volume. So, but it's also, it's not only just a good ratio, it has usable space, not just room in the inside. You can use these sides here to strap like whatever you need for climbing if you're on a cliff. But
Are you talking about the outside?
on the inside here.
Inside, okay.
There's like these little like straps that are located like right here, and you can strap like
Your equipment and things
yeah,
there.
like yeah. And
I'm just waiting.
so these we were unable to accurately depict the rectangles that are the entrances, but only the top part is covered with material. It cuts down on costs, and I mean, it's not always going to be on the ground. You're not always going to be on a flat surface, so you can't always have like the bottoms touching. So they're just sort of like there's a structure there that protects from like things getting inside the tent. So,
Any questions? Questions?
Yes. How many does it sleep, did you say?
I mean, as many as you can fit based on the
Well, that brings me to my next
You tell us
question.
that. How many can you fit based
all right,
on
so
the
I
size
based
of
it
the
on
sleeping
a
bag?
6 foot tall person.
I say about 5 people on each floor.
I want to know mathematically how many people you can fit. I want the demand.
Well, that's
Say that again, sorry.
my question, sir. Because you just said it depends how comfortable you are with the people you're camping with. Because if I'm looking at that, if we were to all camp together, we're all kind of like,
Because
how are we strapped? Are we strapped in? I mean, or are we sleeping on top of each other? I'm
Well,
a little
it's
confused.
6 feet in the radius is 6 feet. So
On that
this would be
second layer,
more.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. So this is
So it'd be like a hammock?
Somewhat, yes. Right.
Yeah. I mean, there is like a cable supporting it right in the middle here.
No, I get it. I get it.
So it will
But
be
like
mostly flat.
If my family is going to sleep on that second layer, it's like a hammock because it's fabric, right? It's not static. It's not firm, right? Okay. And you also said you can sleep on the bottom.
You would
That's
like,
like-
but
That's
So-
more. It's too small. Yeah. You
Okay,
should,
so now how many, so I guess my question is how many people can sleep comfortably on that platform?
comfortable.
without
hammock
doing
being-
this, without
the hammock
rolling
being
into
one
each
of
other.
Probably 6. About. Because.
Did you
or
calculate that, or you're just thinking that?
No, you can, well, 6 feet radius, so this would be more than 6 feet right here, because this is a hole for the ladder to get up into the second level, so this would be more than 6 feet. You could put someone right here, and then one right across here, again, and then on the other
Now,
side.
are there supports, so, because I've just been visiting.
Yeah, they're,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, for the sleeping.
It'll be pretty flat, just like that.
Okay, great. No, I get it now. Thank you.
very original.
Wow.
Very upset. Very creative.
I don't know if I'm hanging on a cliff, but
I know, right?
whatever you like.
whatever you like. I like that.
But I do like the idea.
Options are good. Options are good.
I like the idea. I like the hammock, the suspension
It's
aspect.
very different.
It's very different.
I might stay in some just for the thrill of it.
Absolutely. I would watch people sleep in it. That would be fun.
I'm not suspending it. All right, nice job, guys. Thank you.
That's great.
I'm Abby. And I'm Maddie. And this is our design, the geometry.
For our tent, we have a half cylinder and a square pyramid with the crescent moon shape connecting both pieces. Our tent meets the requirements by having 2 rooms, 2 geometric shapes, and can seat 4+ people. We chose this design out of the 3 total designs because it's very simple, not too big to carry around, easy to set up and take down, very spacious, and can withstand rain due to the slanted roof, which is on our poster. and the front can be used as storage space depending on how many sleeps in it at the time. And the square pyramid part can fit 4 adults comfortably, and this is the main sleeping area.
We completed our tent design by following the engineering design process. First, we researched tents after getting the task for inspiration, and after designing multiple tents, we chose the best one and found all of the required measurements, ratios, and the cost. We 3D printed our prototype, just here. And we made a poster for marketing purposes. And lastly, our job is to present the project.
Our design was chosen because it met all the requirements. It's simple yet creative. Its shape is a half cylinder intersecting a square pyramid, and it met the housing requirement of 4+ people and can sleep around 6 adults, but you could obviously fit more children if you wanted to. And each 3D solid is a room which meets the room geometry requirements. And we named it the GeoBeam. I don't know why. First, the pros of our design: it has 2 entrances and a 6-foot pyramid room, which most people could stand up straight in. It can fit more than 4 people, and it has different heights. It's very spacious, and it has pointed or round roofs, which allows weather to roll off of it, such as rain or snow. And its simple shapes make for an easy setup and take down. For our specification sheet measurements for our half cylinder, our surface area is 75.36 feet squared. For our lateral area, we have 150.72 feet squared, and for our volume is 56.52 feet cubed. For our square pyramid, we have a lateral area of 115.2 feet squared. For our surface area, we have 179.2 feet squared, and for volume, we have a 128 feet squared. And for our extra piece that connects both, the surface area is 14.9 feet squared and a volume of 22.72 feet cubed.
And that's just the math for the extra piece, which is used because of the slant of the pyramid and the straightness of the cylinder. The total volume of our tent is 207.24 feet cubed, and the total surface area is 269.46 feet squared, which converts to 90 yards. We converted to yards to accommodate for the units of fabric we sold in. And the total cost of the tent fabric is $371.25, and we recommended a selling price of $483 for a 30% profit. Our surface area to volume, our volume to surface area ratio is 0.77 feet cubed to 1 feet squared, which is about 3/4. That's it.
Any questions?
Is there an entryway in the square pyramid as well?
Yeah, one of the sides
and
opens
one
up, and the back is up.
And so would some people, in order to fit 4 people, some would sleep in here and some would sleep in here?
This part, the half cylinder, is like, since it's like not as tall, it's mainly like the children entranceway, and then the back is for the adults.
And can you fit 4 people in here
Yes.
sleeping?
Yeah.
And this is extra?
Yes, that can fit 2 adults.
So you could put 4 in here and 2 in here for 6?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Just look at your marketing stuff.
Tell me a little bit about your poster. Over here, it's got 3 feet, 6 feet.
These are the dimensions of each geometric solid that we use. So these are the dimensions of the half cylinder, and these are of the square pyramid.
Right.
And these are some of the pros that we wanted to include for marketing.
What is in your marketing is going to make it stand out in front of someone else that had a similar design?
Well, we noticed that a lot of similar designs, they had multiple tubes. Ours includes 1, and it is wider, so it's got a narrow space to crawl in. And we do have a square pyramid where most shapes are more of a triangle prism.
Good stuff.
Good job, you guys.
He's Nick, that's Liam, and that's Evan. And today we're showing you the squad tent by Squad Company.
Alright, so we wanted to revolutionize the idea of camping, so we started thinking of ideas of a tent that would change the image of camping. Our hope was to come up with a unique design that was not only original, but able to hold enough people to make the idea of camping a fun pastime. We also wanted to find a good ratio to service area and the volume. So this is our slogan. Sick of not having enough room for friends or family to fit in the tent? Sick of never having enough room even though it says it holds 6 people or more but barely fits your air mattress? With a squad tent, you'll be able to fit your family and your squad, while having large enough sleeping areas in a courtyard where you can keep your food and items safe from animals.
Is your mind blown yet? If we haven't won you over just yet, you'll be throwing your money at us soon. The squad tent holds up to 6 people per house with an air mattress, sleeping bag, comfortably. The tent has 3 entrances: the main entrance, the back corridor exit/entrance, and the entrance to the courtyard. The tent is also safe, and it has the courtyard in the middle where you can store your necessities and your food to keep safe from the animals.
Alright, so our design's top view. Each separate room has its own skylight to see the beautiful night sky. Could you imagine a better night's sleep? No, I didn't think so. Also, the courtyard in the middle of the squad tent will keep all of your valuables safe from animals. The front view shows the main entrance room. We use shapes such as cubes for the rooms, rectangular prisms for hallways, and truncated square pyramids for roofs.
You thought we were done, didn't you? But wait, there's more. Alright. The squad tent is worth the money with all the advantages it has, like the space, the courtyard that not many tents come with, where you can store your stuff. It has windows and skylights for sleeping areas. The tent is easy to set up, no struggle needed here. It has long metal poles and other materials just slide over the poles to set up. The corridors and bedrooms are 6 feet high, so the average man can fit in it.
The total cost of manufacturing a tent was $1,227. We sell the tent for $2,000, which leaves us with a profit of approximately $773. The cost of the materials were $4.95 for each yard of fabric used.
Does the squad tent change your mind about camping? Hopefully it did, because we are certain that our idea will not only change the way you think of camping, but also make everyone want to go outside and enjoy nature and stem away from technology.
Okay, the squad tent. The design put the 10 in 10, 10 out of 10, the New York Post said. The squad tent is the best choice for any squad ever. Tents Daily. If you don't pick up this tent for your friends or family, then you don't have a brain. Outdoors life.
The squad tent is the perfect choice for you and your squad. With very spacious rooms for comfortably sleeping, big skylights to watch the beautiful night sky, and even a courtyard in the middle of the tent to keep all your supplies safe, there is no better choice than the squad tent. Now that you are waiting to grab your friends, pack some food, supplies, and go on the best camping trip you've ever gone on with the squad tent.
That's all. Any questions?
How many did you say sleeps comfortably?
In each each room, 6 people, so altogether 18 people.
18 people.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any concerns with the court? I love the idea of courtyard. I think it's really a social and wonderful idea, and you can keep your stuff away from bears or other animals. However, what about like cooling if it rains and things like that, and the mud factor and how it's going to seep back into the tent? Is that a concern?
Not really. That's more of the people who buy the tents concern.
How big is the courtyard?
Courtyard?
How big is that area? Can all 18 people fit in the courtyard together?
Probably not.
And then when you're figuring the sleeping, you're not figuring the connecting hallways, you're just figuring the rooms?
Just the connecting hallways, yeah. There was just a room that fits six.
Going from room to room.
You have to crawl.
So, no, you can
walk.
You can stand up straight. It's 6 foot tall in the hallway.
How long does it take to put this thing up?
And how many people?
Probably with 4 people, an hour.
Really?
Material slides right over the poles.
I'm sorry, we gotta move along because we have one more group.
All right, so you're kicking me off the stage?
I'm Juliana Zeitz. I'm McKenna Watson. I'm Jamie Walker. And we are J&J Designs, and we're presenting you the Mountaineering tent.
So this is our spec sheet, and here we have a front view of the tent, and then a top view with sleeping bags, and the side view. The surface area of the entire tent, including the half-cylinder entrance, is 30.86 meters squared, and the volume is 11.42 meters cubed. So the ratio is 1 meter cubed to 2.7 meters squared. And the total cost of the fabric to make the tent is $167.02. And we'll be selling it for $200.20, which is a 30% profit. The tent has 2 separate rooms, and there's a detachable divider in the middle, which is just a piece of fabric that can be rolled up and taken off for more privacy. The comparison chart, the Sarah Designs Vapor, it only sleeps 1 person, but it sells for $254, while the Abs Mountaineering, which sleeps 2 people, that sells for $250, while ours is able to fit 4 people, but it's less like $200.
We picked the Mountaineering tent was set apart from all our other ideas due to its unique shape. It's the perfect tent for any camper as it lets in minimal light, which results in a better sleep. The slanted sides help it to be weather versatile. And the rain falls right off the sides, and the lightweight material allows cool air to be moved around inside during the summer months. And in the winter, heat gets trapped inside the walls of the triangular prism, maintaining a comfortable temperature for every camper.
That's basically it. Is there any questions? Oh, yeah.
$200.
220.
Yeah.
Is this made in Europe? I just asked that because of the meters versus the yards, and is there a conversion for that?
Yeah. Let me go back to the spec sheet. So it's about 4.5 feet tall, so it's obviously
Please come to the office.
it's primary purpose. Yeah, its primary purpose is sleeping because we want to get our customers out into nature more since they are camping. So it's kind of more just of a sleeping thing.
Please come to the office.
Did you do it in meters for a specific reason as opposed to yards, or?
Yeah, because the fabric is sold in yards, so we thought it'd be easier to do the math in meters and yards instead of feet and inches. Probably not a good choice, but that's okay.
No, it's fine. It's no problem. All right, great. Thank you, guys.